Good, or should I say, good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome to GuesstiMania. Sorry, trying to do that as low as possible while not waking up the little one. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, October 12th, and today is going to be a crazy video. I'm not even sure what I'm in for, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a guesstimate for all of it, everything, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to it. All right. Anyway, Bitcoin, it's coming back. Yesterday was a little rough. But we saw 109, and we're back to the one. We did it at 112, right? So I thought we did, maybe not. All right, we're at 111. So, hey, better than what it was, right? And real quick recap. Obviously, yes, we're covering the YieldMax guesstimates for all the new groups. There's 2 groups now. There's not 4. There's 2 groups, in case you missed the announcement. There's group 1, and consider that the old weekly payers, the ones that were paying weekly previously. And also they added feet and 5e. So that's the group 1. Group 2 is what they define as the covered call ETFs and the inverse funds. And of course, YMAG and YMAX. Actually, did I miss that? YMAG and YMAX are not part. Wait, what? Oh, duh. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Never mind. Sorry. So here's the chart. Group, yeah, covered call ETFs and inverse funds. I'm losing it right now already. But I don't know why they didn't have a picture underneath both. But whatever. So here it is. Here's the layout. Okay, that's all you need to know. That's how I have it set up, and then we'll go from there. We can't really go through the distribution schedule here because it's not really set up. But long story short, Group 1 will declare Wednesday. Oh no, that's Group 2. Group 1 will declare Tuesday. Ex-dividend date will be Wednesday, and they will pay Thursday. Group 2 will be the normal schedule. Declaration Wednesday, ex-dividend date Thursday, payday Friday. All right. Now let's just get to this. Let's get through this because it's probably going to be a long one. I'll do my best to go fast. All right. So first, let's start with YMAX. All right. Since I moved around my whole little spreadsheet, I didn't have a plan for YMAX. I got to be honest. So this YMAX and YMAG, if anything's a WAG this week, it's them. So last week they paid 14. Week prior they paid about 14. So with the volatility last week, high volatility, I'm going to give them 15 cents. Now, if we look at YMAG, it went from 9 cents to 20 cents. So obviously that could be anything. I'm just going to give them 14 cents. Although, you know what? They are priced. What is their current value? Yeah, they're $15 and YMAX is actually $12.43, So I guess I do need to give them a higher payment. Well, I think their last payment is based on Phoebe and NVDY, right? But yeah, we'll give them 17 cents. ULTY, again, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. ULTY is 9 cents. All right. Now, feet and 5e, simply put, they were paying every 4 weeks as part of Group A, right? So what I used to do, obviously, I'm doing the same thing. You calculate the numbers based on the average IV. For feet is the one that owns the the various YieldMax funds. And so I calculated the IV and multiply that by the current price and divide it by 13. That was the old way, right? So instead of that, obviously I'm taking that number and now I'm just going to cut it in 2. So instead of 4 weeks, right, group A is going to pay based on 2 weeks. So I'm cutting that guesstimate in 2. And of course, I'm not done because I'm looking now here. The guesstimate yield comes to 86%, which is definitely too high, especially looking at the last payment. Did I fix the calculation? Yeah, so this is going to be based on 52 divided by 2 divided by 7. All right. That seems extremely high. But let's check out, let's go back feet. What is their average IV? 86%. Yeah. But it's not picking up all of them. Oh, I woke up the little one. Whoops. But now I can do my loud wrestling voices. All right, what do we got here? 106. The last payment was, oof. That seems nuts, doesn't it? But again, this is based on 2 weeks, so it's got to be cut in 2. This was based on 4. So we got to give them, less. Sorry, guys. We got to give them like 90 cents. No, that's still too high. 75, 76 cents, 61% yield. Yeah, that's basically cutting it in 2. Give them 79 cents. All right, that's going to have to do it. 5E, their last payment was 105, 108. So if you cut that in 2, that's more in the 50, 60 cent range. They're already loud. Good Lord, help me. Again, 5E is the fund that it's a hybrid, right? It owns some safe, some degenerate. I'm not going to get into that. Again, this video is going to be way too long as it is. So I'm going to give them around the 55 cent range. Again, even this yield is a little too high for feet, isn't it? I guess I'm going to leave it. But I'll give some more juice in here. I'll give them 57 cents. 58. We'll give them 40% yield. All right. LFGY formula is not updating, so I'm simply just going to use based on the prior payments because there is some type of consistency in the 40 to 50 cent range. I'm going to give them about a 45 cent payment. That would be a 63, and we'll give them a little more. 48 would be 68% yield. Because usually I feel like they're always in the high 60, 70% range. GPTY, 53 cents comes up. No way in hell. So they're going to pay about, again, in the 30 cent range. I'll give them 32 cents. That would be a 35% yield. SDTY, I already filled that in, 16 cents, 18% yield. QDTY, 22 cents, 26% yield. RDTY, 32 cents, 37% yield. Chippity Doodas. What? 61? No, that's not right. Again, these are formulated, and I planned on changing it when I did the video. So 40 range, 41 cent. That would be a 39% yield. I'll give them a little more, 44 cents, 41% yield. And then we got Salty. It's always a hard one, man. What are they doing? They paid 63, 60. I got 74. That's not happening. So we'll use 64, 82% yield. No way. 60. Yeah, I'm going more with 60 cents. Yeah, 77% yield. All right. So this was supposed to be the easy part. All right. So this is the group 1. Again, I have the little header here. New spreadsheet. Work in progress. Sure. But again, it's a big change. So bear with me. Bear with the other YouTubers that do this. But again, group 1 will declare Tuesday, ex-dividend date Wednesday, pay date Thursday. Okay, so now if you own YieldMax, you're going to get paid on a Thursday every single week. If you own one of these suckers, I think a lot of us, own YMAX and ULTY for the most part. So yeah, I know I do at least, but we should be getting paid Thursday and Friday. Thursday, Friday. All right, so that's the update there. Now, here comes the fun. These, look down here. Look how many funds, all right? 42 funds. How in the hell We gonna do this, brother. I can't do this. There's too many. Yeah. We got to figure this out. All right. Simply put, we're going to look here. See, Group C, they're basing their payment on 4 weeks, right? Because they were scheduled for next week anyway. So why don't we do them first? All right. So lucky for you, I highlighted Group C. So let's filter them out. Let's create a filter, and we shall filter by color. Yeah. All right, here we go. So this is Group C. This is what we would have normally done. Okay. Now, what the hell do we do from here, right? So we kind of just do what we normally do. Let's go here. Let's see what NVDY made. NVDY did not make money, realized income wise, of course. But we can, again, we'll look at the holdings, see if the download works, which it didn't. It does not. So again, nothing was working this morning, so I'm not surprised that it's not working now. So for NVDY, if we have the IV, we'll use that. Their IV is 42%. So what we can do is, I probably already have it calculated. The weekly, which they're not paying weekly yet, they'll start next week. Again, this payment, anything in Group C, it's going to do like a true up. C, D, and A are doing a true up. All right. Group C is going to pay 4 weeks worth. Group D is going to pay 3 weeks worth. And Group A is going to pay 2 weeks worth. And Group B is already on the weekly cycle because they paid last week. All right. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. All right. Anyway, so again, this column here, this is pre-filling what the weekly estimate will be based on the IV. So I'm taking that number and multiplying it by 4, and I'm getting 54 cents, which would be a 42% yield. Oh yeah, by the way, I have to do a copy paste special up here before I lose all of the data. I like to take a little screen prints later on for you guys. All right, so what do we have here? We have 54 cents. Yeah, and that's based on, it's a 42%. It's in line with the IV. And again, I don't have much data for NVDY to give you guys besides their last few payments. 40 cents, 46 cents. Yeah. Nothing tells me they're paying 50 then. I have to stick in the 40. IV, I'm sure the IV has risen, but, we got to stick in this range of 40, 44 maybe. Ooh, that drops it. 46. Yeah, that's what they paid about 2 payments ago. I don't know, man. It's going to be in that range, I think. So I'm going to leave it at 46 cents. Let's move on to CONY, CONY, or shall we say, coming down the aisle, Mr. Conehead. All right, 41 cents it calculates to be, but let's go to the group's value. Open her. All right, where the hell is freaking CONY? We're in Group C, right? There we go. Yeah, so CONY, they made 50 cents in total realized income per share. By the way, thank you, my Views World, for becoming a member during this live video. Awesome. This is awesome. All right, so for becoming a member, if you're here, you get to pick a wrestler, and I can imitate him. All right. What a prize that is. All right, so let's go to CONY Holdings. All right, let's see how much they're holding back on the synthetic. 18 cents. All right, so nothing too crazy there. That would change, kind of how we're thinking they're going to pay. Their last payment was 45. We're calculating based on the IV to be 41. So I think that's kind of in line, to be honest. I'll give them another penny. I'll give them 42 cents. That would be a 76% yield. Again, their IV is juiced up, though, too. You have to consider that. And it's really juiced up thanks to the Friday, right? The Friday freaking sell-off. I mean, so what we got? God damn, son. I'm going to give CONY 42 cents And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. All right, how's that? Anyway, MSFO. Let's see. What do we got? We got 42 cents up in her. Let's see. Let's go to the, by the way, I did that because my Views World actually did answer and gave a wrestler of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there you go. Maybe I'll make that a new thing. If you become a member or give a super chat, I'll do a wrestling impression. I'm sure that'll annoy the crap out of every listener. But hey, it's all about fun and entertainment anyway, right? Of course, it's going to delay this long video. All right, MSFO, let's get moving, brah. All right, so let's check out the group's value. They made 10 cents per share. That's not really going to make or break anything. Let's just check out synthetic, how much it's worth. It's negative. I didn't highlight it, but it's negative. So I'm not going to, it's not in the positive. So it's not going to do anything for us either. So we're going to have to default to the IV for MSFO. The IV, again, based on the weekly, it'll pay 10 cents based on the IV. But if I multiply that by 4, that's looking like 42 cents. However, they've been paying 31, 31. So nothing tells me that 42 cents is in their future. But maybe I'll give them a little more than what it was, 34 cents, 25% yield. Maybe I'll give them 35 cents, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm high on these, but it's okay. Whatever. Let's move on to AMDY. But yeah, so let's see what the group's value is. No, they had a realized loss overall, so that number I cannot use, but I will look at the synthetic currently. It's a 155, and it is very valuable. So let me fix the highlighting. I did not prep this in advance. It was a quick morning. I hit snooze a lot, which I should not have because it was GuesstiMania. You know, GuesstiMania is the biggest day of the week, of course, now. So we have to be, you know, well awake for the special announcements, and we, you know, our wrestling impressions and all that fun. All right, so 14, there we go. All right, 50. Oh, oh my God. All right, they could. Again, this matters. Yes, it does. I know sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it could matter, right? 4 weeks worth. What are they going to pay, bro? What are they going to pay? I don't know, man. I don't know. But let's keep that into consideration. They are up 279 per share. Per share. All right. And I know I'm not using the columns over here. This is all set up for weekly, so I'm not even going to be concerned with that. But AMDY, I'm going to, their last payment was god awful, 24 cents. And before that, 54, before that, 56. I'm going to give them back in the 50-cent range for sure, 50, maybe high 50-cent range. 77% yield. Yeah, why not? All right, up next, your boy PP. You know, PP, obviously the IV for PP is not working. So let's just check out the group's value and then go from there. All right, how you doing, PP? PP. All right, PP has a realized loss, so that's not going to help. Again, we're only going to use that into consideration if there's like a massive income gain there, which there is not. As far as their synthetic, they're in a good spot. Let me fix the highlighting for you guys and gals, right? We have a 8% gal turnout per my YouTube audience numbers. Let's see, what do we got here? We're going to add that up right there. Let's see, 12, boom. We got 2.2 mil up in her, and that's about 45 cents per share. Okay, what do we do? What do you do? What do you say? Is that going to matter? Let's see, how much? Yeah, well, no, yeah, they paid 27, they paid 34, then 26. So, yeah, I'd give them more than the last payment at least. What if I give them like, not 30, what about 29? That's on the cusp. That would be a 34% yield. That's respectable. I think that's good. All right, up next is your boy ABNY. Real quick, we'll just go to the group's value and see if they made money. They did not. So we'll just check the synthetic and then we'll move on from there. The synthetic is not in a good spot. Oh, wait. Wrong column. No, the synthetic's not in a good spot. So nothing to go there. So I'm just simply going to base it on the IV and then look at the prior payments and look and say, hell no, they ain't paying that. So we'll give them about, maybe juice it up a little. 30 cents would be a 40% yield. All right, up next is fiat. Lucky for you, I don't give a crap about the inverse funds. So I'm just going to give them about a 17-cent payment. Ooh, that's high. Wow. 15 cents. Again, the guesstimate yield. You keep in mind the guesstimate yield now. This column is different for every single fund this week because again they're taking into consideration the 4-week payment as the others are not. CVNY. Let's see what they did. I know this is probably really hard to follow along with. Where the hell are we? CVNY. They did not have a realized income. As far as their synthetic, where the hell is it? That's not in a positive stance. So again, simply IV. We're just going to simply base it on IV. Nothing complicated here. They paid $190 last time though, and then $255 before that. So again, $241 does seem a little excessive, but I think we'll stick with maybe the $2 range, but maybe in the lower end, like $215-ish. That would be a 77% yield. That does seem a little high from my perspective. So maybe 209. Yeah, let's give him 209. That's good. All right, up next is your boy. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. All right, let's see. Group's value. Yeah, this is the one, brah, that's going to change the world here. $21.89 in realized income for your boy Hui. What do we do with that? I mean, we just run away pretty much, right? We run for the hills. Yeah. I don't even know what to do with this one. All right, so where the hell's group C? Oh, duh, we cover Hui over here. So again, that's the realized income. What about the unrealized income? That's actually negative. Okay, wow. So they're not 2 for 2 there. But I mean, what do we do with this, right? What do we do with a realized income of $21.89? I'm just, again, I have to base it on, I'm not going to say, all right, they have to pay out $10 in realized income. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm always wrong. So I'm not even going to mess with that, the calculation, mess with the fiscal year payouts. I'm simply going to look at that and look at the prior payments. They went as high as $6 before. All right. So if we plug in $6, that would be a 105% yield. That's actually a safe bet, right? That's actually a safe bet for me. I can't see the IV right now of Robinhood, but I believe it was in the 80% range. So to be even safer, I should. Oh, they did pay $6 twice. They started with 330, 650. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna 105% yield, $6. Yeah. Safe bet, $6. What do you think? 610, 615. Oh yeah, and they are paying weekly too. So 5. I don't know. This is a tough one. Over under 6. What does my audience think? I'm gonna come back to Hui. I need you guys to help me out. Dre. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when you move your lips. 234. All right, so that's a big one right there. Synthetic is getting its ass kicked, so that's not going to help. All right, so the group's value. Go back. Over, under. All right, you guys are all over the place here. Come on, give me some consistency. Dre 189. Their last payment 156. What do we say the goods value was? 234. I'll give them another $2 one. I'll give them like 205. Yeah, I know they're gonna pay weekly too, so it's like I don't want to give them too much. That was a good point. Whoever said that. Damn, dividend degenerate. You gave. I don't want to say it because I don't want people to not watch your video, but you gave them a pretty low payment. Let's see. Over, under. $9 says John Universe. Woof. All right. I'm going to stick with over because I'm a degenerate and I like being wrong. Anyway, so I'm going to give them 610. Wow, that didn't even move the needle on the yield. How about 625? How about that? Again, what's the value of the fund? $74. I don't care. 625 it is. Yeah, I don't care. All right, hey, we did Dre and then GMEY. This is their first distribution. And they made $4 already. Like ridic. Go GameStop, baby. Diamond hands in the house. All right, GameStop is taking over. We are taking over. All right, so their synthetic ain't worth a crap right now. So it's just simply about the realized income up in her, and that's about $4. So let's move on down here. And let's just plug in. Let's say they pay 3, which I doubt it. 79% yield. GameStop's IV is not working. Very disappointed actually about that, because I mean I know their IV hasn't been what it was in the past, but I don't know, man. This is their first payment. I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, look, what's GMEY at? It's at 49. It's not doing that great, but it did make $4. But again, maybe the current synthetic took some of it back on paper. So I can't give them 3. I gotta give them high 2s. How about like a 278-ish? That's what I'm thinking. 73% yield. I don't know what the freaking IV is. What's GameStop's IV? Anyone know? 278-ish? I don't know. But that's gonna have to do, I think. Again, Dre's first payment was 219. We can't judge with Hui. Carvana's first payment was 391. So yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. All right, I'm done. I'm done with these. All right, we got to move on because we're not moving very fast. So that's Group C. Now we're going to go to Group D. And we're going to filter by color, and we're going to do purple. Hello, purple. Hi, purple. All right, Group C. No, that was Group C. We're doing Group D. Yeah, I can't talk. So how much did these suckers make? Well, no one really made much of anything. So let's just, I got to plug in some numbers too. Yeah, this is more work than I thought. I should have been planned for GuesstiMania a little better. But I can't do it. It's too much work, brother. NVDY, plug that in. What are we doing? Aptly, it's a big number here. I believe I can fly. All right, what we got? This so up in her. Again, I don't know what it's not going to be this complicated going forward. I can guarantee you that. Again, I knew this episode was going to be a disaster. So let's just try to get through it. All right, simply put, let's look at Aptly. I'm not even going to look at the other I'm not even going to look at the current synthetic. I'm just going to look at what they made. All right, Aptly made damn. Wow, Aptly made a lot of money. All right, Aptly is freaking killing it. So they're going to have a good payment. Their last payment was 35 cents. We're showing 24. Wow. So they have paid 40 not that long ago. So if I plug in 40 cents, what does that come to? 52% yield. That's good, you know. I'm gonna give it to them. You know, Aptly, you deserve it. All right, let's move on to AMZ. Did they make any money, broski? 23 cents per share. Their last payment was 46. Their IV is not updated. So if we plug in about 44, that gives about a 53% IV. And that probably makes sense, right? Now let's look at Disso. Let's keep going. Disso made 69 cents per share. They paid 21, 33, 27. I'd like to think they're going to beat the last payment, high 28s, high 20s, yeah, 39% yield. We'll give them that. I don't think anyone else made money in this group, right? Yeah, everyone else kind of shit, all right? So we'll go quickly down here. XYZY based on, again, this is based on the IV. They're showing 33 cents. I'm going to give them 30 probably. I'm going to lower it a little. AIYY, they're showing 11. I'll give them 12. MSTY, they paid $1 last time. Again, this is based on someone made the point that MSTY over since inception, based on monthly and 4-week payments, they have always paid over $1. And so this doesn't count because it's only 3 weeks. But yeah, their IV is 68%. That would be a 52-cent payment. So if I give them, say, 60 cents, that's an 80% yield because their IV, it did look like it jumped. MSTY, yeah, they're not getting 60. They're getting 50s. They're getting 56 cents. That would be a 74% yield because they dropped, man. They're at $12. Sucks, but hey, it's rough times, man. All right, YQ's 21 cents last time. Yeah, I'm gonna drop them, give them like 18 cents. All right, SMCY, 79 cents. Their IV's kind of juiced up. I'll give them 80, 83. They always pay a little more. Winter 121. It's showing. Damn, their last payment was 329. They actually, yeah, they did go up. So they did good. They just didn't realize it yet, right? If we go here, Winter, yeah, it's a realized loss. So we'll give them a little more than what it's showing, maybe 145. And then we'll go to high. All right, these two, when did they launch? They launched 922 and 929. So, of course, small sample 922. When was the cycle started? All right, Group D cycle did start on 922. So Circo's about a week behind. So I have to keep that into consideration here. So for HIYY, $3 actually kind of makes sense. So we'll give them $3. That would give a, holy crap, look at the IV on that sucker, 111%. But yeah, and then we go to Circo again. We're gonna have to lower it because they're they missed out on a week, so we're gonna have to drop it maybe to 250. Give them 250. That would be an 88% yield. All right, sound good? All right, I know that was kind of fast, but we gotta get our asses moving here. Oh yeah, copy paste special. Well, I'll do that at the end. All right, so we're gonna go move on to the orange now. So this is what Group A, and they're going to pay based on now 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. They're obviously all pre-filled, but we'll take a look from the group's value standpoint. And by the way, the group's value, I don't have to do it. Well, it's all going to be on one sheet now, and based on the new way that I'm formatting. Which again, it's a work in progress. You guys gotta. It's gonna take some time. Let's just say that, but it'll be pretty in the end. I promise. It's gonna be so pretty. It's so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. All right, so let's see. We're just plugging in numbers here. Don't mind me. Feel free to sing songs by yourself. Wee, wee, TSMY making the name here. Where are they? Outstanding shares 4.2. Ooh, 379. Zomo. Hi, Zomo. How are you? Okay, we're good now. All right, so who was first on that list? Let's go back. We got TSLY. All right, TSLY. This is based on a wow. Woof. Their weekly payment 9 cents. So 2 weeks would be 19 cents. I mean, okay. Are we gonna like that? I don't know, man. Let's see the group's value. Do they make any money? No, they did not. But they do have a synthetic. I know we said we're not gonna look at that because we don't have time for that. But they are up on their synthetics, so let's keep that in mind. So I'm gonna juice them up a little bit, give them like 24 cent up in her. That's a 77% yielder. What do you guys think? Is that good? 24 cents for TSLY, T to the S to the L to the Y. Maybe, maybe not. All right. OARC, did you make money? No, you did not. Sir. All right. So let's again, this is what based on a 2 weeks. So and they paid 80. Wow, look at TSLY. That's a big drop. I'm looking at that now. Maybe I'm going to give TSLY a little more. Sorry, I'm looking at the prior payment. All right, so OARC 18 cents. Again, I don't know. Their last payment was 8.34, so 18 cents actually makes sense. GUI, did they make money? Let's check it out. When I say did they make money, I'm talking about realized income. Keep that in mind. 20 cents per share. They paid 69 cents the last 2 times. So if we cut that in half, we can make it like 30 cents, but we're showing 20. But maybe I'll give them high 20s, high 28 cents. That's a 55% yield, which is higher than the IV. All right, higher than the IV. All right, up next is Zomo. Again, a lot of coverage here. Zomo did make 113, which is massive, considering where they're at. So we're going to give them more. We're going to definitely give them more. So their last payment was 21 cents. I'm going to give them close to that, even though it's based on the 2 weeks. I'm going to give them like 16, 17 cents. I mean, they did pretty good. So that's a 38% yielder. All right, YBIT, how you doing? How you doing? YBIT, they did not make a realized income. So we're going to go ahead and look here. Their IV is juicing at 44%. Their last payment was 30 cents. You cut that in half. 16 cents kind of does make sense. First, yeah, I'll round up. I'll give them 17 cents. All right, let's move on to Crash. How you doing, Crash? Again, hopefully I didn't screw all this up. It's of course a big possibility that I can screw this all up, and but again, I'm pretty sure I got this all right before I did this. But hey, you never know. Don't worry. Next week we'll be back. We'll get this crap in order. All right, Crash, did you make any money? My guess is no. And I was wrong. You made 7 cents. All right, good. So, and that's pretty much what we're saying they're going to pay. So, you know what? We'll give you 8. Just because, we're nice. We're nice people here. All right, Snowy, how you doing? 27 cents. Did they make money? No. All right, so 47% yield, 27 cents. Yeah, I'll juice it up a little bit. 29. That would be a 49% yield. TSMY, they're the ones that did well. They made 379. Damn, brah. So we got to give them more than this. We got to give them 100% yielder. What do you think? But look at their last payment. Wow, $1. So even if we kept that in line, gave them 50 cents, yeah, that would be an 81% yield. I'm going to give them 48, which is still high, considering. All right, Berkshire, again, the Berkshire Fund, they paid 53 cents the last time around. Let's check out they made 33. So I'm going to give them close. Well, I'm going to give them more than 32. I'm going to give them probably a 35-cent payment. That would be a 19% yield. Again, if we look at the guesstimate yield formula, every formula on the guesstimate yield column has to be calculating differently based on the old groups, which is a complete pain in the ass. Again, that's just way too much going on in this spreadsheet for me to even, like, I can't be double checking. It is what it is. If I'm wrong, if I screwed up, so be it. So be it. All right. You're fired. All right. Anyway, Robley, what do we got here? 301. Again, pretty much cut that in half for a 2-week payment. Simple as that. But they didn't make money. Okay. So 301 cut in half would be $1.50. So if we give them $1.50, it'd be higher than what it's saying. But that's kind of okay. Nah, I'll give them $1.48. All right, now we're going to go RDDY, or shall we say ready? Are you ready? All right, they got $1.05 last time around. 2-week is showing $1.56. Wow, that's 78 cents based on weekly. Again, this payment here, though, I think was based on a late launch date, so I'm not even going to worry about that. So, yeah, probably they got a high yield there. What's their price at? 41. Damn. Getting their ass kicked already. All right. I'm going to give them $1.50, $1.52, 94% yield. All right. Okay. We're making progress here. I think I got rid of all the formulas. And I know you guys probably fell asleep, but let's resume, and we'll go now to the fill color white. All right, so what is the white? The white is Group B. Group B just paid us last week. So guess what? They're on the weekly cycle. Woohoo! So if I go here, Group B, they started, you know, we're adding up money as of Monday. So I can update these too. So Phoebe, boom, 10 cents per share. GDXY still kicking ass. Most underrated fund out there, that's for sure. Damn, 185. JPMO, big banks. Everyone loves big banks. Not 11 cents. Marrow. Hey, Marrow, how are you? Okay, we got that there, brother. And we got Murney up in her. How you doing, Murney? Okay, right there. Boom, 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 boom. NVDY we did, and PLTY. Hey, PLTY. Although, wait, the formula is probably there. No, it's not. All right. PLTY should be, where the hell is PLTY? Well, that's not working. Great. Awesome. Thank you for not working. But, all right, so here's the group's value tab, and obviously we can see who made what in that. It was only a week, so it's not going to be insane. But let's just simply go through the line. So NVDY to the right, this is what it should be based on the IV. 30-day IV is what I'm using, not 7-day forward IV, right? 30-day average IV. So what do you do? What do you say? I don't know. 13 cents. How much did NVDY make this time around? 13 cents. Wow. Okay. There you go. There's your number, right? But I'll be nice. I'll give him 15 cents. You know, I'm feeling generous here. 15 cents would be a, well, yeah, see the guesstimate yield on this is screwed up. I got to do times 52. 52 right there. And then I do, oh, I need to make sure. I don't trust filtering on Google Sheets, so I got to do it individually. Okay, so 49% yield, which is a little higher than the IV, so I think that's fair. All right, up next is Phoebe. Are they making money? 10 cents per share, 13 cents payment. Yeah, 14 cents. Give them 14 cents. Feeling nice right there. JPMO, they're showing a 10-cent payment. Did they make any money? They made 11. So I'll give them 11. I'll give them what they made. All right, Murney, they're showing what, 2 cents? Good Lord. Wow. They made 3 cents. I'll give them their 3 cents. That's what they made. 3 cents. I didn't even think about Murney and how low the payment would be. Holy crap. That is funny, though. What happens when it's under a penny? Then are they going to have to reverse split? Because they're going to have to round up to a penny, right? I guess we'll find out when we get to that point. All right, GDXY. Oh man, yeah, this is the thing. Look at it. Look what they made. $1.85 in a week, bruh. I know that says 1031, but again, we're not even there. You know, just from 10.6. Again, assuming my formula's freaking working, but they paid $1 last time. So this is for 1 week, and they made a crap load of money. What's their price at? Damn, this fund is really good. I mean, it is a good fund, and we're missing out. You know, gold is blowing up because the dollar is freaking useless. So I don't know, man. I don't know. What if I give them 20 cents? Yeah, that's 20% higher than their IV. But they made so much damn. How much did they make again? $1.85. 20 cents would be a. I want to give them a little more because I don't know. I'm feeling. Yeah, 71. That's high. That's a high payment for GDXY, but I'm leaving it 23 cents. All right, dippity doo dah. Did you make any money? No. Oh wait. Oh, you did. I left you out. Sorry, brah. I know. Gotta show some love from dippity doo dah. What the hell? What is this group B? Okay. 5 cents. All right, and all that for nothing. So they're out. They're actually coming out to 5 cents. So let's think about this. 5 cents. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna give them. Again, I'm keeping it simple this time around. Babo. All right, they're showing 15 cents. Do they have any money? Nope. Realized loss. So we have to default to the IV, and I'm going to default to the IV. I'm going to give him 15 cents. PLTY. Again, we got to do PLTY again. Did they make money? Oh my God, they did. Again, but the formula's not working. That sucks. Should I go to the website? Pain in my ass. Only because it's freaking PLTY. All right, let's see. What the hell am I looking for? Outstanding shares, 10,725,000. All right, so 10,725. All right, 66 cents per share. That's for 1 week. They're showing 83. So obviously that didn't help. But you got to think, since it's PLTY, let's see if we give them 85, what kind of yield we're looking at. 73%. Yeah, give them. I'll give them more. I'll give them 87. 75%. Yeah, screw it. Literally 87 cents. All right, let's look at Maro. Hi, Maro. Hi. All right, let's see. You made money, didn't you? Yeah, you did. 39 cents per share. Pretty good, pretty good. What do you do? What do you say? 33. So I'll give him a little more. I'll give him like 35 up in her. 35 up in her. That would be a damn. Yeah, put him above 100. 103% yielder. So, okay. That's it. That's it. I think we did it. I think we did it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove filters, data, remove filter. And now everything should have a number. Obviously, the number formatting is not consistent. Let me fix that now. We can do that. How many decimals? Do we want it? I don't really do multiple decimals anyway, so I'll just keep it like that so it's easier to read. All right, so we filled in everything. Everything. Wow. I want to make sure everything's a formula, not a formula. Does anyone want me to recap anything? And don't say all of them, because I don't even think I could talk for that long. Or maybe I'll just do the high yielders, right? All right, so let's see. Let's check out the comments. Let me throw some music on so we can relax on this after all that mishmash. Cinematic. That sounds good. Do a 25. And NVDY, MSTY. Okay, so here's let me give a quick recap again. Again, there will be 2 groups. So the first group is basically the ones that paid weekly prior, plus feet and 5e. Here's the breakdown. those will declare on the Tuesday, ex-dividend date the Wednesday, payment Thursday. Group 2, all the other suckers, right? All the covered call ETFs, the inverse funds, etc. Those are on the normal schedule, which is, you know, declaring Wednesday, and then ex-dividend date Thursday, and then payment date on the Friday. Now with that, we got that cleared up. See this here, you know, BC1. This shows you, okay, Group C was normally scheduled to pay out for 4 weeks. So they're going to do that. Group D, they're only at 3 weeks, but they're going to pay up and they're going to true up their 3 weeks. And then Group A, they were 2 weeks in, so they're going to true up and they're going to pay their 2 weeks. Group B paid last week, so they're all caught up. So they're actually on the normal weekly schedule already. All right, so now you guys asked for MSTY. MSTY, I have 56 cents, which would be a, why is my guesstimate yield not working? Where's the price of, yeah, see, yeah, so sometimes when you use all these formulas, it breaks it. But whatever, I got 56 cents for MSTY, and NVDY is way up here. I got 15 cents for NVDY, 49% yield there. Okay. Let me catch up on some comments. All right. Brother is hiking. Have a good hike. Yeah, MSTY, we did that. NVDY, we did that. So the weekly payment is, yeah, of course, the weekly payment will be lower. Group C and D going to pay their normal payments. Yeah, no, they're going to true up. I think you asked that before. I just explained that, though. All right, so someone wants CONY. CONY, I have 42 cents. That is a 76% yield. It's the NVIDIA, I did those. Yep, Stone Cold said so. We did his voice earlier. His is a little harder. You gotta like, you gotta go, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. You know, anytime a new member pops up or a super chat pops up, if that person is here live, they get to choose what wrestler I impersonate. I know that sounds very exciting for all of you. So, hey, it is GuesstiMania or GuesstiMania. Everyone's crying. They got to redo their spreadsheets. I know. I'm not even close to done with mine. This is just one of them. It's going to be interesting. Am I stoked? No. I mean, I'm just blah. It doesn't matter, to be honest. I mean, getting paid weekly is awesome. Let's be real. So in the end, yes, of course, you know, we're still in the early phase of it. But when all said and done, it's probably just better off. Just make everything weekly. But I didn't really have a preference. Monthly, I was grateful for monthly. What is the most toy paid out? Okay, I can do that for you. Where the heck is Hui? All right, so they've had, it's up here, they've had 5 payments. The biggest payment was $6.89. All right, so yes, they're going to pay on 4 weeks again. So you would think maybe they would beat that, and it's possible. I just, knowing that they have, you know, weeks, they're now converting to weekly, so they could spread it out, technically spread out the love, because we know they made a lot of money. Again, always a tough one. Always a tough one. Nikki's laughing. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. I forget what movie that's from. MSTY, 26 cents. They're gonna try to protect the NAV. What the hell did I have? I can't. This is nuts. I had 56. Wow. Yeah, you're probably, I'm probably high, to be honest. You're making me want to decrease it. 68%. No, you're probably right. Why am I giving them 56 cents? MSTY is part of. No, it's 3 weeks. It's not cut in half. All right, so no, I'm good with my payment. I haven't started working on your sheets. Okay. Yes, Adam Sandler. But what movie is it? Billy Madison. It must be Billy Madison, right? They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. All right, let's see. Of course, if the market crashes, it will drop. Yeah, we'll see what happens Monday, man. Let's look at Bitcoin again, see what's going on here. Hit a refresh. 111, 631. I don't know, man. I kind of want red, but I kind of don't. I'm kind of over it. Like, that was a violent drop on Friday. And, you know, in some cases, you know, I built up a decent cash. Most of my account is in cash. So at one point, I'm okay with it. But at another point, I'm just like, I think Friday was enough for me. Not a movie CD. No, I think it was from the movie. But yeah, I know he had some CDs. That makes it even worse if I know it from a CD. But all right, guys and gals and whoever, what are we doing? Do we want to do anything else? I mean, I don't even know. Like, this is nuts. This is really crazy that we're doing this now. But yeah, so I'm going to track it now from the Monday to the Friday. We're going to track how much each fund went up per share, the percentage they went up per share. And yeah, it's just going to be, it's going to be a lot. I know this video was a lot, and I'm going to take multiple snips and resend this. I don't know, man. It's going to be chaotic, but again, it's fun though. I have fun. As long as you guys are having fun too, we can keep doing this. Yeah, Columbus Day. Banks are closed, but the market is open. That was the name of the comedy album. Okay. Biggest Woody. There's the name. Hear me out. What if Bitcoin recovers and all non-Bitcoin stuff is red? Well, I guess I'm okay with that too. What percent drop did the market experience on Friday? I don't know. Depends what you're looking at, I guess. Enough to cry a little bit. Good morning, Carlos. Thank you for those videos. StreamYard didn't let me insert any of those videos to the as like an intro thing. So unfortunately, I would have done it though. Yes, the market is still open tomorrow. When can you cover Roundhill? When I figure out all these other freaking things. But yeah, it's on the list. CONY weekly. Sorry I missed it. You know, 086 EA. Only for you and that complicated freaking username. What do you got? 42 cents, 676% yield. How's that? Is that good? Started buying some Roundhill. Yeah, I bought some WPay on Friday with that dip. Let's see. Cash has the ability to buy when the market crashes. That's why I started saving. Yeah. Look at Mono with he's like a little Wikipedia here. Bond market is closed tomorrow. I wish I could say that I cared, but I do not. I'm sure some of you do. Yes, the market is open. Oh, you got more? Sweet. Maybe I'll play them. I'll put it up like on the screen. I'll play it next time. NASDAQ was 3.9% from the high. All right, so I think we got 760 people watching live on YouTube and X, and we're done, right? We went through every single fund. Was it painful? Maybe. Is this the new process? Not really. Again, this was an unusual video because we had different groups paying based on a certain number of weeks. But starting next week, it's going to be a little easier to do this. And I may even pre-fill. I'm not sure. But maybe I'll pre-fill some and I won't pre-fill others. Because I'm sure, like, you know, some of that, like GUI, like you guys don't really care about OARC, GUI, Zomo. So if I pre-fill those, it's probably fine. All right, so if it drops 1.1% Monday, I can pull 25% from my savings if it falls a total of 5%. Why do you keep it in a savings? Because doesn't the brokerage have a higher, don't they pay you a higher yield on your money than your savings account would? Or is it in your savings because you don't trust that you wouldn't use it in your brokerage? Rod, isn't leftover cash or whatever might have been held as a buffer for NAV due to... I mean, you would think so, but I don't know what's left over. So again, that's why I'm not playing that game. I'm going to know next year because the way I'm going to track the funds. So yeah, next year I'll know if that helps. Rod's going the distance. Yeah. Gotta get the family some bagels. They're waiting for me patiently. Sounds great. You always do a good job or great job. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate that. You the man. No, you the man. All right. Savings rates vary place to place. Yeah. But if you don't put anything special, just a regular savings account, it's always usually shit. What else? What are we doing? Anything else? Bum, 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 bum. Whose song is that? Go. Wrestling trivia. Close it out with that. DoorDash. I mean, it's literally not even it's probably a quarter mile down the road. Like I should jog there, but I need to get my ass to the gym. Nature boy. There you go. 5-0 investor. You know, he's the man. He's guessing. Usually, he beat brother to it. What else we got? Yes, they have to pay out 90% of their realized income. Okay, exactly. Woo! All right, there you go. Anyway, we'll have to end it there. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back when? Come back, I don't know, whenever you want. I'm actually skipping tomorrow. I'm not doing a interview. Kids are off. I'm off. I'm going to sleep in for once in my life. I'm not saying I may not do a video later on in the day, but probably not. So I'm taking probably the full day off of freaking YouTube to do who the hell knows what, right? Something. Mean Jane. Woo! All right, so we'll end it there. If you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them down below. We're going to have fun with this, and we're going to do, for the keyword, you guys are going to tell me your favorite wrestler of all time. Current, past, present, whatever. So that's going to be the keyword. So if you made it this far in the video, and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. Keyword, as I just said, type in your favorite wrestler down in the comments below, whether you're on YouTube, whether you are on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Put your favorite wrestler in there. Some have already thrown it in the live chat. We got Andre the Giant. We got the Hulkster brother. I don't even think I could do Andre. Piper. Oh, Piper's a hard one too. Yeah, I'm not even going to try that right now. Hulk Hogan, Hulk. Johnny Case. Who the hell is that? You mean Johnny Ace? Where? Who in the hell? Snippet Slim Jim. Bruno Sammartino. I am Bruno Sammartino. Rest in peace. Well, I'm not going to... All right, I'm done with the voices, but I love to see the variety here. And thank you all for participating. And I'm happy to see so many wrestling fans. Superfly. I assume you meant Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Old time. Yeah, I guess. I go back, but not, I don't know the Bruno Sammartino too many wrestlers in that era. Hulk Hogan-ish, right? Hulk Hogan-ish and beyond. Dick the Bruiser. I mean, I know who that is. Definitely from the Adam Sandler album. I guess you're not watching the live. Macho Man, I'm old. Yeah, we are all freaking old. All right, guys. Georgie Animal Steel, there you go. Eating a freaking turnbuckle. That guy was a special one there. But as we're all pretty special in this weird ass community that we're in, right? We're weird. Anyway, I'm out of here. I gotta close it out there. Thank you all for watching and have a great day. Okay? Woo!